Hi, my name is Maja Wyborska. I'm here today with Ike Laseter. I'm very happy to have you here and to have a chance to talk with you. Ike is a co-author of the Mediate Your Life program. He's also a lawyer, a trainer, a mediator. Ike, welcome to our discussion. What made you come up with that program?
Well, in a funny kind of way, we didn't decide to come up with it. My colleague John Kenyon and I were living in the San Francisco Bay Area together, and we were doing some trainings together every Wednesday afternoon for 3 hours, and we would do these 6 or 8 week series, and we do a beginning series, and then an intermediate series, and then a beginning and an intermediate. And basically that would take up the year, and we would have some time off in the summer and around the holidays. And then we decided that we had more that we wanted to integrate in that, and we couldn't do it in that format. So we decided to do a weekend. And then once we began thinking about what we would do in the weekend, we initially had 3 trainings a year and 5 days for each of the trainings. And we basically put everything that we had been learning into this training. And that was the start of the Mediate Your Life program. And then we learned just a huge amount about being trainers and how to more effectively support people to integrate these new skills. And I did all this reading about the science of learning and and why is it so difficult to integrate a new thing. So it evolved a lot, and it continues to evolve. I've now taken it and sort of trimmed it down and taken it into the workplace. But Mediate Your Life is mediate your life. This idea that we all have conflict with ourselves and with other people, and that there are skills available in the world to be learned and to be integrated, but you don't just learn them up here, you have to have what I call the capacity to use those. And most of those are psychological capacities. It's like, we edit ourselves a huge amount, each of us. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm afraid to do that. That's scary for me. I don't even have a thought about it. I feel the emotion, and then I recoil and pull away from it. And Mediate Your Life is about all of that. It's the best therapy I have done ever in my life. And I did 10 years of intensive psychotherapy in the 90s. It's about the therapy for me is using this mystery of empathy to be able to, in that moment, when I'm afraid or anxious or concerned or self-defending or self-protecting, and I can use empathy in that moment, I can empathize with myself and help and ask others to empathize with me. And when I do that, it's as if there's a little freeing up, a little bit of freeing up of my humanity, to where I'm not so controlled by my childhood traumas. And I have more and more choice in the world. And that's what I want for myself and for others. I want people to be awake and aware in the moment, so that they can choose how they want to act. And the way I phrase that is to act in alignment with their values. Can I wake up in this moment? Can I realize this is one of those moments where I have screwed up in the past and I regret what I've done? Can I, in this moment, act in a way, in integrity with myself, so where I'm not gonna regret what I do? I don't know what the consequences will be, but I know that I won't regret because I acted in alignment with my values. And that's, to me, the centerpiece of Mediate Your Life, is how do I do that? How do I get to that level of self-understanding and a new word in my world, to be woke, anyway, to be awake. So that's a long answer.
Yeah, I'm hearing that participation in the process, in the Mediate Your Life program, it can be a very deep process, transforming process for the participants. But I understand also that it can also serve as the learning process to be a mediator for the external world as well.
Absolutely. And that's because to be a mediator, it's my experience that I need to be able to have all of these skills I've just been talking about, to be able to be present with other people's conflict. Because most of us, when we're with other people who are in conflict, if we are not one of the people that has, I'm from Texas originally, and the way we would phrase it, if we don't have a dog in the fight. So as a mediator, you don't have a dog in the fight. You're trying to support people who are in conflict, and most of us recoil from that. That's very uncomfortable. It's very dangerous to be a human. And, from the evolutionary environment when we were on the plains of the savannah, literally in Africa. And if you get in conflict with someone, and you're in the group and you get kicked out of the group, or it's between groups, all of that is very dangerous. You can die from conflict. And so we have that baked into our genetics. And it comes out at babies in our wetware, and it's just we're pre-built to be conflict avoidant and be afraid of conflict. But there are many times when we if we have the skills and we can skillfully maneuver those situations, that we can make our life much richer and the lives of those around us richer, when we can learn how to skillfully navigate those conflict, I was going to say moments, but sometimes they seem like they're not just moments, they're long periods of time. But yeah, how can I heal the rift with a longtime family member? Families have conflicts that go back generations, and they don't communicate with some members of their family. And of course, business deals fall apart when the personalities of people quit jobs, or they're fired from jobs over what they call it, like a personality conflict or something like that. But it's just, another way of putting it is how can I, me personally, better get my needs met? Because I'm concerned when people say they're only concerned about other people. They want everybody else's needs. No, how can I get my needs better met? How can you get your needs better met? And key to me, through my work, internal work, that one of my fundamental needs is the well-being of others. So I'm advocating selfishness, but in being selfish, it turns back to the world. And how can I contribute? How can I contribute to others? Because that's such a gift to me. That's so meaningful to me. It's a need of mine to be able to give those kinds of gifts to others. So, again, a long answer.
You have used the word conflict for a few times. So I would like to ask you, how do you understand that word?
Very good. Took me years to get this answer. I have a very broad definition of conflict. So conflict is whenever I'm disconnected from myself. And another synonym for disconnected is I'm not present. I'm not present to this moment and what is arising in me and around me. I'm off in my thoughts. I'm off in a distraction. I'm playing a game or doing something. So it's disconnection first with myself, and if I'm disconnected from myself, I'm not able to be connected to you. So it's fundamentally disconnection. Conflict is disconnection from myself, which leads to disconnection from you. And out of that disconnection, which doesn't sound the same thing that most people think of as conflict, that's where the conflict arises. It arises out of that disconnection. So I go back to creating connection. And that's why I think this technology developed by Marshall Rosenberg of nonviolent communication is such a key foundation for any of this kind of work that I'm talking about, is these sort of deceptively simple ways and ideas of how to create connection with myself and connection with others. So that's conflict for me.
Thank you very much for the answer. I would like to ask about who would benefit the most from that program, from participation in that program.
Well, first off, it's not a question that I'm comfortable in answering, because it's key to this program. Unlike a lot of programs like this, is I don't have a place where I want people to get to. I'm not trying to teach some kind of view of the world. It's not a religion. It's not there are programs that have been developed where they have very strong, charismatic leaders, and the leader is essentially trying to get people to look at their lives and live their lives the way he, and it's generally a he, but there've been some she's, that the leader wants you to live your life the way they want you to live it. And that's why it's very important to me that it's always supporting the participants to act in alignment with their values. And part of the program is developing what their values are, and then developing the capacity, the willingness, the risk, the fear that we have of acting in alignment with our values. So the people that I think would be drawn to this are people who know that they have challenge with conflict. Maybe because of their work, they are often in conflict situations, and they just haven't figured out a way to feel comfortable with that and to be as skillful as they would like. We've had people who have come because of one conflict in their life with a child, an adult child or an adolescent child, or with a parent, or with a loved one that they're estranged from. And we have people in the business context, or lawyers and mediators, people who this is what they want to do, they're drawn to it, but they want to be more skillful at being a mediator, a formal. When I use the term that way, I mean when someone has asked you to facilitate their conflict conversation, that's what I call formal mediation. That's when someone's asked you for that. So it's a wide range of people, but it's people who want to be able to be more connected with themselves. So it's also there's a group of people that come out of spiritual traditions, particularly meditation approaches. And that's a background of mine, 40 years, 50 years now of yoga. And a lot of meditation, staring at a wall. I call it silent staring at a wall. I don't know whether I'm meditating or not, but I am staring at a wall. So I hate saying everyone, but it's people who self-decide, who self-select because of what they're experiencing in their life. And this is a way, it's not the only way, but it is a way for people to become more skillful and more at ease with dealing with the challenges that this thing called life brings to us.
I am hearing that as if those are the people who are ready to look at the conflicts, to come closer to whatever conflict they have.
Oh, I've had a number of conversations with people. Oh no, I won't go to your program. No. And what I hear them saying is just what you're saying. They're not ready to look. They're afraid. Just the idea of looking petrifies them. So you sort of have to be at a place in your life where you know, I had some teachers before NVC that encouraged me to just take the risk and find out that the risks are really not what we claim or what we are afraid that they will be. And just to try these things. See if you like it. See if it makes your life better. You're the one in charge. No one's going to brainwash you or make you do something. It's like, go try something. If it makes your life better, do more of it. If it doesn't, do less of it or don't do it at all. It's, you know, living this life is actually pretty simple if we boil it down to that. It's just, you know, find the things that really nurture you and nurture the people that you love, and do more of that. Look for those kinds of opportunities to nurture yourself and those that you care about.
I'm seeing that as if it is mediate your life so that you can live your life.
Yeah, so you can be present for your life. So you're not living somebody else's life. You're not living some political leader or religious leader or family leader or work leader's life. You're choosing your life. You're showing up moment by moment, choosing and being a choice. Having within yourself the capacity to choose and to produce those moments, to wake up and say, oh, this is a moment to choose. That's the core central piece of the Mediate Your Life approach is how to wake up for those moments, and then have a system, a regular system that you engage in on a daily basis, and you work with support people, your fellow participants in the workshop, and you practice in these weekly calls with each other, and you practice with your life. And then you develop these habits of how can I reflect upon my life so that I can do it better next time. Just, you know, it wasn't perfect, so how can I get out of condemning myself and judging and, you know, all of that? And how can I just focus on, okay, how can I do it better next time?
Ike, I'm very happy that you were able to talk with me, and I'm also very happy that you are coming to Poland for the program this year. I know that you would be on the second session, 4-day session.
The one in May, and I lived in Warsaw, just outside of Warsaw, for 3 years. So I love going back to Poland and hearing the Polish. I don't speak Polish, but I speak a few words, and I understand a lot more, and I love to be in Warsaw.
Is there any word that you can share with Polish people that you know in Polish?
You know, the strangest phenomena I have noticed is that my mind almost goes blank about Polish. And then when I'm there, I start hearing it around me and words start popping out of my mouth. So literally, when you asked me that question at that moment, I know hundreds of Polish words and I couldn't remember a single Polish word. So how do you say hello?
Cześć.
chest. And then, oh, anyway, my mind is completely blank on
Okay.
Polish words.
So May would be the chance for you to practice Polish, and the participants of the course to practice connection with themselves. This is how I understand that. Is there
Yes.
anything else you would like to share with the Polish people who would be watching you?
You have some really good people, trainers in Poland, in the Polish language, in the Warsaw area. Take advantage of that wonderful network of trainers. I continue to be impressed with the very high quality. My co-facilitator and the person who is program, it's the sort of the main focus of organizing this program, and it's really her program is Anya Mills, and I highly recommend any chance you get to go to participate in something that she is facilitating. I would encourage it, but there are many other fine trainers too.
Mm-hmm. Ike, thank you very much for your time and for your presence here, and see you in Poland.
Well, I look forward to being there, and nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.